It was an absolutely wild finish for the Southern National Tour Dirt Late Models at North Georgia Speedway on July 28th. I know I'm a little bit behind on this, but I wanted to point this out because I thought this was one of the craziest finishes I've seen all year. And we've seen some crazy finishes, but this one might take the cake. You have Carson Ferguson leading this race, dominating pretty much from the get-go. He is being hunted down by Dale McDowell, but with 1 lap to go, Ferguson makes an absolutely costly mistake. He goes to the bottom of the track, gets stuck behind 2-lap cars, and McDowell just powers by him, powers through him, passes him, coming out of turn 2, going down into the backstretch, never looks back, and takes home the checkered flag. And you can see right here, you can see that Ferguson is down there on the bottom, even with 2 to go. McDowell is up top, and he's already kind of closed in to these lap cars, so it's just baffling why he chose to go to the bottom. Maybe he didn't realize McDowell was so close. Maybe he thought that those lappers were maybe at least running some pace, and he didn't have to. He wasn't going to get as stuck behind him as bad as he did. But let's take a look at this, because this is just absolutely wild finish here. You can see there he's coming off turn 2. He's looking good. He moves up in front of McDowell. They're coming down into turn 3. He goes on the bottom again. Those lappers are still out there in front of him. Coming down, white flag. They've got the white flag now, and then they just get stuck up. They get caught up there. I think right there, that's that lap car, and then you see McDowell just goes through him. He pile drives that 1-lap car. Let's go back and look at that. He absolutely pile drives this 1-lap car, because I think he sees McDowell going by him out of his peripheral on his right, and he's like, "Get out of my way!" Take a look here. He just runs right through him. He lifts him up. He just moves him up the track. But it's too little too late. McDowell's already passed him. He's coming through turn 4 there and taking that checkered flag. And Ferguson has to settle for second. Massive mistake, very costly mistake, especially as he's in a points battle as well, or he was at this point in time. But let's listen to what he had to say here post-race when he was asked about taking that inside lane in 1 and 2. I don't know which lap car that was, but it looked like the lap car that was a little bit further ahead definitely messed up going into or coming out of turn 1 and going into turn 2, and really slowed up compared to what he had been running the last lap, and then as well in 3 and 4. Let's listen to what Carson Ferguson had to say here.
I don't even know what words to say. Led this thing, had the best car of the night. Talk us through the closing laps. He went to the bottom. It's where you'd been consistent at. Take us through what kind of led there in that last lap.
It's really hard to talk about it.
You can almost hear the pain and frustration in his voice right there. I mean, you really definitely sympathize with him. He knows he made the mistake too.
I don't want to sound like I'm, not grateful for being able to race on a weeknight like this, and like we've been racing all week, but I'm pretty frustrated. I don't really know what we go through somebody's head just to pull off with 2 to go, knowing that the blue flag's waving. But congrats to Dale. He was on me the whole race. Spotter sticks never opened up, and we gave it our all. Just pretty frustrated.
Carson Ferguson, the runner-up.
Not much to say there. Definitely frustrated. You definitely feel for him. He did express a little bit of frustration with the lappers getting shown that blue flag to move over, and they didn't go to the high side. But that's what makes, I think, dirt racing so exciting, is that there's so many ways that you can move around on the track, and you have to be able to maneuver around these lap cars, and you don't have spotters. You basically have people with sticks out there kind of telling you where the guys are behind you and in front of you. So obviously you can a little bit see yourself in front of you, but definitely tell you where the guys are behind you and what they're going to do. But absolutely wild finish. I think one of the wildest finishes I've seen all year. I've become a dirt fan. These dirt late models are absolutely awesome to see. And they put on a show pretty much every night, and there's multiple divisions. You got the Southern Nationals, you got the Lucas Oil, you've got Mars, and they all have very competitive drivers. And if you're not watching these dirt late models and the tours that they're in, you're missing out on some of the best racing in the country right now.